What is good, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be rebuilding the Pacers and getting this man on the top left corner some help. Let's get it. Fun team, man. Now, we are starting in the offseason. I've just simulated the playoffs. 76ers won it all. Joel Embiid is your finals MVP. Plans for the future. Turner, not staying. I'm just going to say it now. Buddy Hield, not staying. Ben, probably staying. So outside of him and probably Tyrese, there's nobody I'm really too sold on. I do want to build around Tyrese, so hopefully he can really take a big jump for us and become that elite number one option. So going into the draft lottery, we are projected number 6 via Cleveland. So let's just simulate it and see what happens. So we do stay at 6. Should be someone decent we can get with that pick. So that is nice. So let's go directly to the draft then and see what happens. We'll see if there's any draft night trades that make sense. We could try to move up if we did. For example, Turner. I know they did just extend him, but I'm not a fan of that. I mean, he's only 27, but I don't really want to hold on to him. We can keep him for now, I suppose, just because he's only got 3 years left and it does go down. But what if we did Buddy Hield and pick 6? We also have 17 and 24, which is nice. Don't really want a player unless it's another young stud we can pair up next to our guy. I mean, DeJounte Murray, ankling Capella isn't bad. We're going to give up another pick. Lauri Markkanen could be fun. The Jazz would probably be interested. I mean, obviously Lauri's been really good for them, but for the 6th overall pick, you might think about that. I think we will make our first trade of the video here with OKC. We will move up one spot and technically downgrade to Isaiah Joe. So there is still some good talent here left for us to take at 5, obviously. Cam Whitmore was projected to go 3 or 4 effectively, and I think he would fit very nicely next to Tyrese. All right, man, and I've just had a look. Now that Buddy Hield is out the door, Cam Whitmore's low-key perfect. We're going to have him right next to Ben in the wing positions, and I like that a lot. So let's go ahead and make that selection. We also have another one here, and Anthony Black is still on the board, so is Casem Wallace. So we could go for our backup point guard here, or for Derek Lively, a new center. Right, and we still have 24 after this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make my backup point guard selection here. And you know what? I pretty much always get Anthony Black. We already have Tyrese. So I'm going to go ahead and take Casem Wallace here. Something a little bit different. He's a good three-point shooter, perimeter defender by the look of it. And then I'm hoping one of those power forwards falls to 20 because I do want to replace that position. So Kobe Jones, Rajavi King. Unfortunately, it looks like there's no one really here that I love. There's Money Bates, or Amoni Bates, obviously. I mean, I guess we could take him and play him at the 4. Sort of like a small ball 4 type of deal. Rocco's there. Shout out to the Lakers series. You know what? I might honestly take Amoni here. Just give Tyrese another shooter. It's unfortunately no traditional power forward left there. This is our second round pick. I mean, I've got to take Kobe, right? I don't know what his real name is. Forgive me. But he was projected to go, actually, Chris Murray's there by NBA.com. Well, we've already got a Money Bates. So let me go ahead and take him. And then we'll go to our last pick. I mean, if our guy's still there, Tristan Vukovic is still there. Caleb Love is still there, low-key. I feel like I'd be kind of crazy not to take Caleb Love here because he is meant to go a lot higher, according to a lot of these. So is Jalen Clark. But we just have so many guards already that we took. So I might honestly go ahead and take Anton Watson. Not sure if that's his real name. You'll have to forgive me. So there is your summary of the lottery. Now let's go to rookie signings. Obviously, except Cam. We've got a 75 out of Casem Wallace, 69 out of Amoni Bates. Nice. 70 for Kobe and 68 for Anton. So they're all pretty good value. I'll pick all of those guys up. No team player options. Qualifying offers, we don't have any. So I think this is going to be a development year. We have a lot of guys on the roster. So 21 guys on the roster. Obviously, we're going to have to make some cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and start that now. 1, Anton we want to keep. Obviously, we just brought in Kendall Brown. I think, unfortunately, he's going to have to go 2. Same with James Johnson. So the Rockets are interested in these 3 guys. Could I just take a first-round pick, give them Tice back and a couple of other younger players? If they say yes to this, they do. So we thin out our roster a little bit more. So now we're down to 15. We do have enough guys to take in without cutting anybody. So I think this first year is definitely going to be, everyone's under contract, you love to see that. This first year is going to be a bit of a wash. Completely sort of just feeling it out, seeing who we want to keep. Tyrese is up to a 90. Turner's already regressing, sheesh. So I think I will try to move him at the deadline. Ben's up 2, Andrew's up 1. You'll love to see that. Chris is up 1, TJ's down 1. I think I'll also try to get rid of TJ, so it might be a package of him and Turner to a contending team. Then obviously we have new guys to take their place. So let's hop into the next season. All right, so first thing is we're going to be a pretty deep team. I might honestly run a 13-man just until we can sort of suss out who we want getting these minutes. 13 might be a little bit too much, so we'll go at 12, and I'll adjust some of the minutes accordingly. We'll have a couple of guys in the G League, so probably Amoni and Watson. Let me just edit his name quickly. All right, cool. So those two guys are going to be in the G to start off the season. And then obviously if any injuries happen, we will adjust accordingly. Kobe Jones won't be getting minutes to start the season. Actually, no, you know what? He will. Stuff it. We'll take away TJ McConnell's minutes here. I just really want to see which of the young guys are going to play well. And I think I do want to start Cam Whitmore over Aaron Nesmith, unfortunately. We can stick with perimeter centric. Let's have a look at shot tendencies because, yeah, these are going to be all messed up. Tyrese, you're the guy now. So we're going to make this at a 99 and the touches at a 99. There's really no other option. We can up Turner while he's still here to about an 80 because obviously we're going to need him to take a ton of shots. Ben, we can also up to an 80. And let's simulate the first game here, see what happens against the Heat. We lose, but it's a 2-point game. Jimmy with 33, 8, 9. Ben with 25 and 6 rebounds. Andrew with 17. Aaron Nesmith with 16. Cam Whitmore in his first game with 15 on 50% shooting. Tyrese 9 and 11, even with a 90 shot tendency. Turner with 8. So we'll start moving it here. And then by the deadline, I'll probably make that Turner trade. So we'll see what we want to do. They want to do Billy Hernan Gomez for Casey Wallace and a pick. No, thank you. So I don't mind if we're terrible. We can get another high pick and maybe have a big 3 of Tyrese and there's a first round pick for Chris Dorte. But I'll wait to see what I want to do at the deadline. We do beat the Rockets, which is quite funny. So we get our first injury here to Cam Whitmore, actually, which is kind of tough. Aaron Nesmith is hurt too. The CPU do it, and that's going to give Kobe Jones some minutes. So I guess we'll go ahead and drop this down to an 11-man. We could actually even do a 10-man and then just have a backup in case of injury. So let's keep going. We have one win currently. That was against the Rockets. Jalen Green had 30. Tyrese with 21. I'm hoping he's an all-star and just borderline all-NBA guy this season. But I guess we'll see. So I'll see you guys at the deadline unless something crazy happens. We'll see what selling moves we want to make and we'll go from there. All right, man, we're at the trade deadline and unfortunately Tyrese wasn't an all-star. I feel like that's a bit of a snub. He's pretty much averaging 24 and 9 on 50-40 near 90 splits. Cam Whitmore about 11 and 5. He's had a few injuries. He's been in and out. Not the greatest from 3. Ben about 13 on 35 from 3. Nemard about 11. Turner's been doing 15 and 9 with 2 blocks. Not the greatest shooting. So I think we definitely want to move on from him and TJ McConnell. Now, weirdly, we went on a few streaks. You can see we started off horribly. We're 23 and 31. We had a few really good winning streaks. I did flick on the teammate chemistry. That's at 100%, so I guess that helps a lot. But let me go through all the other teams and see who is interested maybe in Turner and who is interested in TJ McConnell, and we can go from there. I'd also be willing to throw in a couple of our young guys just because we have so many options. So I'm going to try something like this. It's a little crazy, but the Raptors are looking to retool and try to compete now around these guys. Scotty isn't marked as an untouchable, so a little bit crazy, but I think it's fun for us. They still have Pascal, Freddie, OG, so they haven't blown anything up yet, but they are ready to move on. So they'd be getting a better starting center. I'm going to give them Isaiah Joe, who's a good shooter, and Chris Dorte as well. They both have some value and a first-round pick. We're taking on 2 bad contracts. So let's see if they agree to this. They say no. That's my 2025 pick. What if I also give up this Nets pick? And they agree to that. Bang! Just like that, we get Scotty Barnes on the roster. Honestly, was not expecting that. He is obviously going to play our power forward spot. He stays the same. So like that, that gives us something to be excited about and put someone who's in a similar age bracket there at 22 years old to Tyrese, who's 23. So now we have everything sorted pretty much except our starting center. We still have Isaiah Jackson, which is nice. And I'll see if the Magic want to do this just for their lottery protected pick. They can have TJ McConnell. And they say yes, cool. They are currently in the playoffs, so hopefully they can hold on to that. And that does make their bench a little bit better. So hopefully it's a win-win. And we get minutes for Casey Wallace. Shamit's not going to play. Well, obviously, just as we have to, once we can decline his option and release him, we will do that. So I think that's going to be it for the rest of the year. Isaiah Jackson is going to be our starting center, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, probably not ideal, but we can definitely look at a new center in the offseason. We should have a bit of money. Hopefully Landry Shamet doesn't bite into that too much. But in any case, I'm happy with that. So let's keep it moving. Now we have two players I'm really excited about. All right, season's wrapped. James Harden wins MVP. A bit of a throwback there for you. That's fun. Brandon Miller gets Rookie of the Year. Good for him. Markel and Giannis there. Mobley most improved. Doc Rivers. We did not make the playoffs. Surprise, surprise. I think we were the 12th seed or the 13th seed. Do we get anyone on an All-NBA team? It does not look like it. But I'm super excited, man. Walker Kessler is another guy I was looking at. I think our duo is going to be so fun for so long. Do get Cam Whitmore on All-Rookie second team, which is good. So his stats about 12 and 6, 43%, 28% from 3. Not the greatest thing in the world. Let's go ahead and simulate these playoffs. The Raptors did make it as an 8 seed. They were not in the playoff picture really before we made that trade, so I guess it worked out for them. I did go ahead and change OG's position so they could start Isaiah Joe. So it looked like Freddie, Isaiah, OG, Pascal, Miles Turner with Pirtle. So I guess you could say, they gave up Scotty for a chance just to make the playoffs. Maybe not even make it. Let's see if they actually do. And they do make it as the 8 seed. But I guess, who knows if they were really going anywhere with Scotty. I've seen him a lot of times sort of max out at an 85. They get swept in the first round. But regardless, I think that was a fun trade to do. I don't get him very often, so hey, it is what it is. Boston versus LA, that's a fun one. We'll rematch there. Obviously, I'd be hoping for it to go the other way, but the Celtics win in 7. LeBron, we will not let him retire because he usually goes on to win another one. At least plays pretty well the next couple of seasons. So going over to the draft lottery, where we have one pick there from Orlando. So it is lottery protected. We will not be getting that, unfortunately. And then we have our own pick at 10. So let's see, do we move up? We stay at 10. So Justin Edwards is there. We did scout him. He's a 75 overall. Again, we don't need any more wings, and he shot horrifically in college. Is there any centers worth taking this high up? There's not. The next best center is at 35. Not a good center class, man. So what if I was to trade this pick? So the Jazz would still be willing to give me Walker Kessler. I would accept this, but I would also definitely throw them some more players just to make it make sense, because he's already an 84 at 22 years old. Could get Mitch. This one makes a hell of a lot more sense. I've decided between Claxton and Walker Kessler. I'm leaning towards Walker just because he's younger. 25 versus 22, and then obviously our guys are really young as well. So I'll see, can I give them pick 10, and then I'll go through the guys we don't necessarily want, and we can just give them a selection of those, just so I don't feel like I'm ripping them off. So Jalen Smith would be the first guy. He's really not in my plans moving forward. I would also be willing to give them Andrew Nemhard. I don't know if that's an overpay or not. You guys can let me know, but I think in 2K terms, that's relatively fair. So we'll go ahead and do that. Nobody really there I wanted. We do have a second round pick though, so we can go ahead and replenish one of our roster spots. There you go. So let's go ahead and sign both of these guys. Chad Rice is a 70 overall. That's fantastic. We'll definitely pick up the options on Scotty and Tyrese. Gary Trent declines his option, which is actually good for both parties. We'll pick up Isaiah, we'll pick up Aaron, we'll pick up Kobe, and we will pick up Anton. Why not? So we do have actually a max slot, which is kind of ridiculous. Not many people would want to play in Indiana, I don't think, particularly because we weren't good. But if I did overpay for one of the lesser guys, I might be able to make that happen and have them as sort of our star vet. So we're good at the 5, we're good at the 4, good at the 2. The 3 will depend on Cam Whitmore's progression. But obviously, I wouldn't let that stop me from signing a major guy. Or at the same time, I could also just build through the draft and then just develop these guys. But let me see... Where is our guy, Gary Trent? He's down here. He wants $19 million. I don't think that's going to happen, my guy. So I guess let's go past moratorium and see who's still around. So Kyrie's still here. He always signs to weird teams, but I don't want Kyrie. We're good for our guard play. I mean, Cam Johnson would be kind of cool. I feel like he would fit us pretty well as well. So instead of bringing back Gary Trent, I'm going to go ahead and renounce the rights on him. I'm going to give Cam a 1+1, 15 mil. See if he can prove himself. And then we'll see how that goes. If we do want to spend money on someone else next year, we can always just renounce him. And I think we also have an extra 10 mil coming off with Landry. So we should be able to either sign someone else or just be able to give our guys a bit more cash. So I think that leaves us looking pretty good, depending on if Cam progresses a lot, obviously we'll decide who's going to be the starting 3. And then outside of that, I think we look solid. So let's go to next season. Hoping this is a playoff team. I think it should be. It'll depend definitely on the progression for our ceiling. But I'm thinking we should be pretty decent. The game crashed. Oh no, are you serious? Please no. Alright, so because this game's terrible, it keeps crashing and I can't do anything. I'm not going to give up because I really like the composition of this team and I'm super excited about it. So I'm just going to get a screenshot of the roster, reboot into another save file and make it as similar as I can. I apologize for any inconvenience if I mess anything up, but it's all I can do because 2K is such a good game. So I'll be back in a second. All right, dog, I've been at this for like an hour and I'm about to tear my hair out. So this is as close as I could get it. We have a few other guys. These guys all progressed, which is nice. So we didn't get all the same picks. Instead, we got Jet Howard. We still have Amani Bates. We have Carson Wallace. We also got Gregory Jackson. So that works out a little bit better for us. The standings were all different, and so were the picks, so I overrided for some of that stuff. What happened was basically Start Today is broken. So, of course, 2K, such a good game. Basically, every time you try to simulate through to that second off season, plus free agency, it just crashes every single time. So I had to start all over again about 3 times until I worked that out. And eventually it forced me to start from the beginning of the season, which is just insanely annoying. But we're finally here. I don't know if I messed up my timing. We might be 1 season ahead of where we were before. But that doesn't bother me too much. That's just, I've had enough, man. 2K is such a bad game. Hopefully they fix that soon. Massive error, but I'm super excited to see this roster in action, and I'm definitely too stubborn to have just given up. So now we are going to give this another crack, and I guess technically we are a little bit better with a couple of those draft picks, but I don't know how much those other guys are going to play anyway. So we get to see how good this new young big 3 is going to be. Hopefully it's really awesome, and we'll see what happens. So just a word of advice, if you're planning to do a start today, don't do it. You're going to definitely need to start from the beginning of the season until they do eventually fix that. All right, man, so that's much better. We're going to be starting Tyrese, Ben, Neesmith. I decided not to go after Cam Johnson this time. I did, but they matched it, and then I didn't really want to force it or go after anyone else. It gives us a chance to play the young guys more anyway. Let me just move over to the left. And then we have Scotty Barnes, Walker Kessler. So defensively, that front court is insane with Tyrese and Ben for some scoring. Hopefully, Neesmith can help out there too. And actually, just kidding, I will go ahead and start our new guy, Cam Whitmore. They can play similar minutes. So we'll do something like that. System proficiency, 3.5 stars. All right, I'm going to keep it moving because this has taken way too long. And we already have an injury. It's a day-to-day, so it's fine. But I'll see you guys if something major happens. Otherwise, I will probably see you at the end of the season. Probably not the deadline. I think I made enough moves. So I will see you guys in a sec. All right, man. We got there in the end. 49 win team. Super happy with that. We, of course, had Tyrese make it as an all-star this time. He averaged about 24 and 12, I believe. And he did make All-NBA third team. Awesome. So 24 points, 3 rebounds. Wish that was a little bit higher. He is 6'5", but he's pretty skinny. 12 assists, 2 steals, 50-40, almost 90 splits. That's insane. No Walker Kessler on an all-defensive team for us just yet. But Cam Whitmore gets all-rookie first team this time. 12 points, 45-34 splits. And then we also get Gregory Jackson and Carson Wallace and Jet Howard. So we just have all the best rookies in the class. But that is also probably Tyrese setting the table for them. So we are the 5th seed, which is pretty cool. I did also manage to get Amani Bates some run. He was a little bit upset, but we got him there. So per 36, 15 points, horrible efficiency from the field. Can't score inside the 3-point arc to save his life. But he did hit 60% of his threes. So make of that what you will, I guess. And I think for the playoffs, we will cut this down to a 9-man. We saw Tyrese numbers. Ben Mathurin about 13, 35 from 3. Neesmith, they want to start him 11, 39 from 3. Scotty Barnes, we got his points up 16, 6, 4 assists on 36 from 3. Walker Kessler was even hitting 35%, but I lowered his tendency because he was about 40% from the field. Cam Whitmore's going to go to our 6-man with about 12. Ijax was good. And we have the Jacksons, both the bigs, 7 and 5 there. His efficiency was not good. We have the 76ers, who are still going to have their same team, I imagine. So it looks the same, except they've added Yuta Watanabe. And I'm thinking, if we do have a bit of money, I might splurge on a good starting small forward and then just have these other guys as bench pieces. I think that would put us over the edge next season. And if we perform decently here and we overpay for someone, that could work. So I do like these matchups for us. Walker Kessler is probably not the worst option on Joel. We win the point guard battle, lose shooting guard, win power forward. So let's just see how it goes. We are the 5 seed, so I don't expect too much. Lose game 1 to Yuta Watanabe. Walker Kessler has 30, and we lose Tyrese. Need you to step it up, guy. Game 2, we do win. Embiid has 43 this game. Tyrese, there we go, 33, 5 and 14. That's what I need. 22 from Scotty and 21. So our super young big 3. What's that? 22 years old, 22 years old, and 24 years old. Can we go up 2-1? We actually can. Tyrese with an almost triple-double with 14 assists. He's just so efficient, man. I love it. I love watching him play. Embiid had a good game too. We got 3-1. Tyrese with 48, 7 and 14. That's insane. He shot really well from 3. Walker Kessler's been a monster as well. 29 and 2 these playoffs. Scotty Barnes about 17, 7 and 3. Yeah, he's not great in the sim, so it kind of makes sense why Toronto wants to get rid of him so easily. And we do beat them in 5. We gentlemen sweep them. Technically an upset, but it's a 4-5, so it doesn't matter too much. 30 and 10, 25 and 10 from Tyrese. Now we have to play the Celtics as our reward. And I think I am one season ahead of what I was in the last attempt, but it's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter too much. We have pretty much the same team. So I assume they're going to destroy us. I'm just going to go ahead, simulate game 1. Tatum has 52. That makes sense. Can we tie it up? Tyrese is day-to-day. He's going to have to play through it. He's fine. We go down 2-0. This team might sweep us, honestly. That might end our Cinderella run. Tyrese with 35. So he's done everything he can. But we do take one game at least. Scotty with 29 there. Tatum with 31. It might be late, but maybe I have to put 21 assists from Tyrese, by the way. He shot horribly. 27 and 13 the playoffs. He's shooting well overall. Maybe I do have to put Scotty Barnes on Tatum. Unless he already is. Was Tatum at power forward? He's not. He's at small forward. So I'm going to go ahead and make that change. It's probably a little bit too late, but I will give it a go. All right, Scotty Barnes on Tatum. I doubt it makes a difference. Let's see. We do win another game, though, where Tatum is scoring less than 50, so that's good. Brown, though, has 35. That was a shootout. We win 137-122. Tyrese has had a monster playoffs, dude. 29 and 12. So this could entice some free agents to want to play with him. He gets you open looks. Can we tie it up? We don't. Our Cinderella run comes to an end. Tyrese with a 20-20 in the closeout. It wasn't enough. I assume they go to the finals, and it looks like they did. Pelicans versus Celtics. Pelicans win it all because we didn't do a start today, so they have the 2K juice, I guess. I've already done that, but we can bring back Chris Paul. Might go ahead and fire Rick Carlisle, actually. That was a decent run, I guess, but a little bit underwhelming. So we will go ahead and bring in the GOAT here in Michael Stoffer. Why not? He is available after all. So now let's just go to the draft and see if we have any picks. We do have a second rounder, which is nice. So we'll go ahead and take this guy. Yes, please. He's fallen all the way from the first round. The second pick doesn't really bother me. So there's Booker. Yeah, I definitely was a season ahead. But that's fine. We'll take Brad Hunt. So he was actually our other second round pick. And do I sign Jamie as well? I don't think I will, but I will sign this guy. Team player options, obviously want to pick up all of those guys. And then we can give the offer to them. Tyrese, I will be matching anything he gets or signing him. Probably matching because if I try to offer him something now, I'll lose him. All right, offer from the Bulls. We will go ahead and match that one. And this might be too perfect. We need a small forward and Paul George is just sitting there. Bringing him back to Indiana, I'm pretty sure those guys still love him. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to front load it, give him a 2-year deal. We'll throw a team option on there in case he's not good. He's getting older and he still wants a lot of money. No one's really made him any offers. So we are number 1. We can probably get him on that, hopefully. Let's go. And we do. We get him on the 1+1. That means we can't bring back Aaron Nesmith. But to bring back Paul George, I would say that's worth it. But just give me 1 second. I'll see if there's anyone I want to get rid of to keep Nesmith. Not particularly. So I will unfortunately have to renounce the rights on him. But we bring Paul George back to Indiana. Let's go, dude. Let's make him a small forward. He's going to regress probably to like an 84, which hurts a little bit. But we have brought him back home. So that is super exciting. Just don't regress too much. He's down to an 83. 84, as I said. That's pretty much worst case scenario. So we definitely gave him a ton of money. But on the bright side, at least he is only on a 1+1. I probably should have upped his peak end age because that's kind of ridiculous. But it's all good. So that is our team. Let's see if that is enough to win it all. Pretty cool that we brought Paul George back to Indy. Yeah, Paul George's peak end age is at 29. That's ridiculous. I'm going to make it 35, just so it's a bit more reasonable. So now we have Tyrese, Ben, Paul George, Scotty Barnes, Walker Kessler, Cam Whitmore as our sixth man, all the way down to Jet Howard, Patrick Beverley getting minutes. We don't need to do that. And it looks like Amani Bates has even gone up in overall, which is nice. We'll go to balanced, which is 4 stars. And let's see what this team can do, man. Hopefully we can win it all this year. I think we definitely have the talent to do so. Paul George has 18 in his return, 29 and 15 for Tyrese. It's all right, man. Let's get it moving. Hope for no injuries, and I'll see you guys shortly. All right, let's get it, baby. We were either the 1 seed or tied for the 1 seed with the Cavs. You can see DG wins MVP. Evan Mobley gets Defensive Player of the Year, so they have MVP and Depoy. That's a little bit scary. The Rockets are elite. I believe that's the Rockets. Let's go ahead and see if we have anybody. I'm hoping Tyrese makes it. He does make All-NBA third team. Again, averaging 22 and 11 on 50, 40, almost 90 splits. Nobody else on the teams for us. So we did get the 2 seed. It was very close though. We have Atlanta in the first round. You know how I feel about them. We saw Tyrese's numbers. Ben gave us about 14 on 39 from 3, which is nice. Paul George up to an 86. He's happy. He gave us about 13. He's become more of a playmaker in his old age. 5 assists, 46, 38 from 3 is good. Scotty put it up to 15, 6 and 4. So him and Paul George are giving us very similar things from the forward spots. 13, 10 and 2 blocks for Walker Kessler. Cam's our 6 man, gave us about 14 on 50% from the field. We'll round up for him. 9 and 5 for Isaiah Jackson. 7 and 4 for Gregory Jackson. Jet Howard in his minutes was really good, and so was Casey Wallace. But I think for the playoffs, we will drop this down to a 9 man. Round 1, we do have the Hawks. Let's see if they've made any changes. They brought in Derek White. They're starting AJ and Sadiq Bey. They brought in Nurkic too. They look worse than they normally are, but I shouldn't talk because, of course, it's 2K, so they're going to destroy me. Let's see. Can we just tie it up 1-1? Thank you. Tyrese with 37 and 13. They also have D'Angelo Russell off the bench, I guess. Casey Wallace is out 1 to 2 weeks. That sucks. We do go up 2-1. Tyrese with a 34 and 9 game. That's okay. We have pretty good depth. So can we go up 3-1? We do. All right. D'Angelo leads them in scoring off the bench. 32 and 19 for Tyrese. God, he's the new point guard, man. Can we go up 4-1? And we do. We win in 5, which is nice. Gentleman sweep. 38 for Trey. Not this time, my friend. 26 and 5 from Tyrese. So it looks like we're going to have Cleveland, Detroit up there, and now we have Orlando. They have Scoot Henderson. They have Kyrie, okay. Franz Wagner, Paolo, so they're all really good now too. Overall, they probably have the better team, so I'm going to need Tyrese here to go God mode. Game 1, we do win. Where Ben Mathurin leads us in scoring. Paul George with 13, 24 from Scotty, 22 and 17 from Tyrese. And we have Casey Wallace back, which is good. We'll go ahead and rebuild that. We do go up 2-0. 35 and 16. Dude, Tyrese is a god. Real life as well, but in 2K, so efficient. 28, 12, 3 turnovers per game, which a little high, but 12 assists, you can't complain. 50, 50, 88 splits. That's insane, man. 23 and 9 from Kessler with 4 blocks. No way. 14 and 8. Paul George with 6 assists. He didn't have the greatest game in the world. Was it Cam Whitmore that just came back? He had 16 and 3. Casey Wallace had 2, which is a little bit rough. Can we go up 3-0? We can. Okay. Kyrie 25, 23 and 12 from Tyrese. Can we win in 4? No, they bring it back. They win 1. I have a bad feeling this is going to be a blown lead. But no, we do win in 5. 29 and 17 from Tyrese. So we are on a crash course with Cleveland. We have a day-to-day injury. That's fine. He's back already. So it is the 1 versus the 2 over here, and they are a scary 1 seed. You saw how good they were. They have 3 90s, an 88, and an 83. There's no way I can beat this team, bro. There is no way. Over there, it's the Rockets and the Blazers. Let's see. Game 1, we'll probably lose. We actually win 25. Tyrese is just playing out of his mind. He's playing like a 99 overall, man. 39, 19, 7 on 3 turnovers. Super efficient. If I'm going to win this, he needs to carry me. Walker Kessler is out 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. All right. Okay, no, he can play through it. He is down 1 overall, so I mean, he sort of has to. We need to win this series. So game 2, they do tie it up, just as I suspected. 41 from Donovan Mitchell. We go up 2-1 though. Tyrese with 32 and 8. Let's see, can we win one more? Nope, they tied up. Okay, they blow us out. And Tyrese, as soon as he doesn't go off, we lose. They go up 3-2. All right, man. That is the problem, because you really can't do anything if that team gets as good as they can be. Let's go ahead and simcast this one. Walker Kessler is fully healed. I love that. And we are here in Indiana, so hopefully we can push this to a game 7. You never know. If we can, anything can happen. Right, we do have a little bit of a lead here in the 3rd. I don't want to talk. Down to 4 points, and we almost blow it, but we do force a game 7. Tyrese, every time he goes off, we win. We do contain them. The only thing we sort of have going for us is defensively our matchups are pretty good outside of Ben. And looking at that, I should probably put Paul George on Donovan Mitchell. So let me have a look at this quickly. I am going to do that. That might mess up what I had going. All right, game 7 here in Cleveland. Let's just not get blown out, please. All right, it is a close game. I'm not opposed to hopping in if we have to. But knock on wood, we don't blow this. We actually win. What? Tyrese with 26, 14, and 5. He's just been a monster. Now we have to go up against the Rockets, who have Freddie, which is funny. If you know, you know. Jalen Green, Michael Porter Jr., Jabari Smith. They've progressed really well too. Not as great as the Cavs, but they're probably going to beat me. We do win game 1. Okay, that was an interesting score. They do win game 2. Can we just go up 2-1? We can, all right. Can we go up 3-1? They tie it up, okay. Let's put Paul George there on Jalen Green. Can we just go up 3-2? We can, all right, awesome. Jabari Smith, 17, 31 from Tyrese. He's just been a monster this whole video, man. Can we close it out here in Indiana? If it's close, I'm not against hopping in. I would love to get some footage. Right, and kind of close, not really. We pull away with it there. So 10-point game, but I'll jump in a minute 20. Why not? Let's get it, dude. We're going to win it all in Indiana with Paul George on the roster. Love to see it, man. It's beautiful. And I think it's kind of fitting to give this to Paul George, right? Yeah, let's get him one more bucket. Why not? He's back in number 13. I guess we could have gone 13 or 24, but PG 13, that's where it all sort of took off for him. And we do draw a foul there, at least against Michael Porter Jr. So let's go. Let's shoot these with Paul George for the culture. This would be a good story, man. Like LeBron going back to Cleveland to a lesser extent, I guess. But he does make both of those. Let's go, man. The Indiana Pacers are going to win the NBA Finals. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and sim to the end here because I don't want to sit through the presentation. Hopefully this doesn't sell me and they somehow come back in 40 seconds, but I doubt it. 29-17 for Tyrese. He's just been a monster, man. Let's get it, man. The Indiana Pacers are your NBA champions. Tyrese, 25, 4.5, and 13.5, 50-48 splits. Insane, man. Your real NBA Finals was definitely against the Cavs. I would say that team can be ridiculous if 2K lets them stay together and progress to their full 90 potential. Completely unrealistic, in my opinion. I think they can definitely be a great team, but are they going to be that great? Who knows? That's dynasty level, so I guess we'll see. But we did win it all. Let's go. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. I had a ton of fun. Tyrese is insane. Just such a unique sort of player, particularly in the sim. The new point guard, if you will. I'm just curious. So his playmaking back, yeah, he's got all the gold and Hall of Fame ones. But regardless, hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'm going to be away, so I'm recording this in back-to-back sessions, I guess, with the last Lakers episode. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like. If you don't want to leave a like, leave a comment. Would love to have a chat. And enjoy the playoffs. Until next time, peace out.